It is time for Miguel Vargas's report card. It's time to unfold the manila envelope. I always loved playing with the prongs. Would have thought anyone in the first 22 years of my life would be like, oh, that kid has ADHD. Anyways, we're going to talk about Miguel Vargas's report card, and then we're going to go to the Die Hard Mailbag and answer your pressing White Sox questions here on the CHGO White Sox Podcast. Welcome into the CHGO White Sox Podcast, coming to you live from Studio B of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm Sean Anderson. Alongside me, my producer, Joey Christopoulos.
Hey, Sean.
Joey, ask me your question.
What time of day is it?
No, you had a question earlier. It was about the stream key.
Oh.
Let's have that conversation on air, I think.
Should we?
Yeah, we got 45 minutes. We'll talk about Miguel Vargas' report card. We'll talk about the Die Hard Discord. But no, let's just have a quick chat about producing. Fire went fine. I clicked go live, and it popped up that the Studio B computer had zero space to record it. So I needed to download, or I need to wait for the YouTube video to process, then to be able to download it so we can upload it audioly. But you were wondering if it was a stream key issue?
Well, no. So meanwhile,
did you have one?
A-Block, let's talk a little bit about duplicate stream keys. Because while Fire was recording, I was unable to create a Chicago Bulls, CHGO Bulls stream key. It was a duplicate, so it wouldn't let us create the stream in Studio A because it said that it was matching with what was going on with the Fire. So we had to go in and reset and customize the keys so that both shows can record at the same time. Because if they don't, Sean, then the audience members aren't allowed to come into the show to watch the show.
And that's why Joey did not create the stream in A, the White Sox stream. I had to create it in B because typically we get an issue with the duplicate stream key if we make it on a Studio B computer and then try to take that to A, or if we make it on A, we didn't take it to B. It's a great talk. Well,
duplicate stream key is
awesome.
Duplicate stream key is also the path of the Dodgers and the path of the White Sox. Too.
Duplicate stream key also playing at the Metro.
Duplicate streams, with built for spill and duplicate stream key. And what a show!
Archers of Loaf. Oh, I love stuck a pin in your backbone. You know what I'm saying? All right, hit that thumbs up button. This is not why you called. Let's talk about Miguel Vargas because, of course. Joey, we have some photos. Let's go to, I think, our first real, true introduction to our guy, Miguel Vargas. Miguel Vargas. Oh, we didn't put any of the, all right, we didn't put the pictures on.
It's coming.
Yeah, we'll take a second. Miguel Vargas acquired in the Eric Fetty trade. Tommy Pham, Eric Fetty go to the Dodgers. Michael Kopech goes to, Fetty and Pham goes to the Cardinals. Kopech goes to the Dodgers along with Tommy Edman. The White Sox get Miguel Vargas, who I comped during 2024 to an opened PS5. It was just opened and returned to Best Buy. It's only knocked down $40, but hey, the only difference between that and a new one is that it's been open once. I'm going to open it. It's a good deal. I'm not saying the Vargas trade was bad, but you get him, my guy, Gerald Perez and Alexander Albertus. But then you get this introduction to Miguel Vargas after he's traded from the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. He gets a World Series ring as well for his time in L.A. He seemed to be missing it.
With you again.
I think this was real torture because obviously you lose to the Oakland Athletics. You have to be playing in Oakland with all their Coliseum and possums. But is this like an I Love LA situation? He's driving around in a convertible, Randy Newman style, and he's like, man, this is what I had.
He's 1,000 thinking of the 405 right now.
This is the 405. Man, I'm going to take the 405 to the 5. And then I don't know any other.
And then just stay there.
Do you know any other? Is there the 20?
Oh, there's the 5, there's the 110, there's the 101, there's the 405.
Come on.
The 101. The 101 is the classic. The 101 you want to stay off of because that That's where the LA traffic, the definition of that's where it meets.
The 101.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just felt bad for Miguel Vargas. Kid looked distraught, and he obviously didn't have a good 2024. It looked pretty bleak for him, and not only did it look bleak for him in 2024, but once he started 2025, he gained weight, and that was the biggest storyline of his spring training, but nobody was like, oh, man, Miguel Vargas about to tear it up for the White Sox. With the White Sox in 2024, a 104 average, 217 on base percentage, and a 170 slugging percentage. He went from being a 106 OPS plus player with the Los Angeles Dodgers to a 13 OPS plus player with the Sox in 2024. But 2025, come April 23, 2025, I don't even need to look up that date. It was that significant. Miguel Vargas changed his stance. At Minnesota, we saw a taller Miguel Vargas. We saw his arms a little bit back. It was reminiscent of his minor league stance that maybe he fallen out of, and he went on a tear for a while. Miguel Vargas from, pretty much the 23rd of April to the 28th of May, a 316 average, 382 on base percentage, and a 607 slug percentage. 8 homers, 10 doubles, 37 hits, 18 of them extra base hits in a 31 game span. A very Coulson-like run, right? This was your mean Mercedes Miguel Vargas run. Your Coulson hitting 13 straight homers or having 13 games with a homer.
Well, he was top 10 in baseball in a lot of categories that people care a ton about during that time.
It was like a top 30-ish baseball player by the end of May.
If you threw a fastball in and low to
Destroy.
Miguel Vargas, 'twas a mistake.
And the thing is, he really didn't shine defensively. We're going to get to the grades in a second. He didn't really shine defensively, but I think it was unfair to grade him because he really didn't have a home. It seemed like, all right, this is going to be our third baseman. And then once Vaughn just completely cratered at first base, they were like, oh, well, the only other person that can play first base is Miguel Vargas. You're not going to get us to call up Tim Elko. We're not going to just have Vargas play third base and call up Tim Elko. You will have to twist and break our arm until we call up Tim Elko. It was, painful to see because I felt like Vargas was, or at least Vargas needed to have some comfortability, needed to grow at a position, and I think that flip-flop was tough. Let's go to the grades real quick. Also, Vargas, when you look at WAR post-May, so from the beginning of the season to May, Miguel Vargas was the 98th player in Major League Baseball in WAR, 0.7 WAR, but that's tied with Jackson Holliday and Gold Glover Ian Happ and Nolan Arenado. Very fun. Even around where Jackson Chourio and Bo Bichette and Gavin Sheets are. Anyways, offense, C+ for Vargas in 2025. It's mainly because he struggled so much in 2024, and it was a return to what he possibly could be. You did see a flash of potential. This is mainly based off of potential. The stats, nothing you're writing home about, nothing terrible. 234 average, 316 on base percentage, 401 slugging percentage, a 100 on base OPS plus, an average hitter. He was very, very, very just iffy versus both splits. I'm looking at his career splits. That's the issue. He was terrible against lefties or terrible against righties. 224 batting average, 313 on base percentage, 393 slugging percentage, a little bit better against lefties, 261 average, 325 on base percentage, 420 slugging percentage. The issue, too, not even a perfect player against lefties, only 2 homers. 14 of his homers came against righties. So I think there's room to grow, obviously, there. I don't really know why he's not tapping into his power against lefties. And when you look at against righties, the strikeout to walk ratio isn't bad. It's 42 walks to 72 strikeouts. So you'd assume that maybe the average would be a little bit higher. The BABIP against righties is 242, so it does seem like there's room to grow there. I think the reason why I like Miguel Vargas over a Lenyn Sosa, if we have to compare these players, is Lenyn seems fairly limited. I don't know if he's a first baseman, and it doesn't seem like he is. And we know he's not a second baseman. We know he's not a shortstop. We know he's not a third baseman. And even then, I don't know if Lenyn's good enough to be a designated hitter. Vargas doesn't seem to be a DH, at least right now, but only being 25 years old, going to be 26 November 17th. Happy early birthday, Miguel. I wonder if he can add 25 more pounds, because he looked bigger this year, but he didn't look filled out. It didn't look like he was completely yoked. I wonder if Miguel Vargas gets a little bit bigger and he gets a little bit more comfortable at first baseman, if this could be our potential future first baseman. I think that he has enough pop, and obviously if he grows just his mass, I think he'll be able to drive the ball a little bit more. But I like his decent base of contact. It's not in a position where you're like Lenyn Sosa getting to 0-2 counts consistently. Obviously, Lenyn was great in 0-2 counts, but I don't think that's a good strategy, right? Miguel had a really solid approach where if you threw him a fastball that he wanted to hit, he's swinging and hitting it out. Doesn't matter if it's 0-0, doesn't matter if it's 0-1, 1-0, etc. Vargas had a really good ability to hunt the fastball. I think if he's able to get bigger, this could be a future piece of the core. He showed enough where you see why he's a former top 100 prospect. And again, progression's not linear. Thank you, Rick Hahn, for that. We've seen Andrew Vaughn jump once leaving the Sox. We've seen Vargas jump with the Sox. I don't think it's ridiculous to say that Vargas could possibly have more to here. So that's why I'm saying C+, because I think that it's good to see some potential back. The actual production is average. I would give it like a C if we were just basing it off of the stats. But I think the fact that you can still say that this player is young, really hasn't had a full year. This was his first full year getting 500 at-bats at the major league level. He's around 1,000 career at-bats now, and he hasn't regressed to a certain point. You look at his last 806 at-bats, it's an 84 OPS plus. This last year, it was 100. That is still taking in the 157 plate appearances he had with the Sox, where he had the 13 OPS plus. That's weighing him down to where he's an 84. But still, like, even with that terrible 157 plate appearances, you could take that out, and he's like a round of 103-ish OPS plus hitter. So I think that there's something there with Vargas, and I have seen some comments saying, get rid of him. If you like Sosa better than Vargas, I would really like to hear your argument, because Vargas, I'm not sure if he's a third baseman or first baseman. We'll talk about his defense in a second. I think it's plausible he could play either. I think his offense, while he didn't have great platoon splits versus either handedness, I think that there's room to grow. I think if he started hitting for more pop against lefties, that platoon numbers or that platoon split would look a lot better. If he's able to get more balls to fall against righties and maybe get just a higher exit velocity from the right side against righties, I think you could possibly see the average and slugging percentage creep over 4. The average, I think, was around 220. So maybe if that's around like 240, I think you can get a really decent 115, 120 hitter. And if he's able to develop into a decent defender, which I'm not sure which corner he'll end up playing, I think if you give him solid time at one position, he'll get comfortable with whatever side that line is against, and he'll be able to become a average first baseman. Nothing great. You can always add a free agent first baseman, but they're not doing that this offseason.
No.
Let's give Vargas a shot.
Yeah.
I think he could hit 25, 28 homers if you really added on 20 pounds. Just start eating a ton of pancakes. Steaks.
Even a pessimist view like Miguel Vargas could be just a placeholder or a transitionary player to get you over to what's eventually going to be the next really competitive, hopefully playoff-worthy White Sox team. But you have to think you'd want to give Miguel Vargas a longer look than Lenyn Sosa.
Right.
There's just more. There's more there. There's more possibility. There's more defensive tools. There's definitely, I think, the capacity for more power. I wouldn't understand why Sox fans would want to keep Sosa and move on from Vargas. The other part about Vargas, just really quick, is he got off to that start, and I'm not saying that that month of production is who Miguel Vargas is or that is sustainable, but I felt like after that happened, the injuries kind of started piling up on him. It was sort of one after another. And if you're a young player and you don't trust your body 100%, to go out there and do what you need to do, I do think that they can kind of hold you back a little bit. Not as an excuse, but it's an intriguing thing that I would be curious to see. Give me 100 healthy games of Miguel Vargas. What would that look like? And we can make a determination there.
Yeah, and to your point, too, I just want to add on, like, it does seem like the lack of true strength is what's holding him back. When you look at damage per batted ball event, he is 50th percentile, middle of the road, 90th percentile exit velocity, 35th percentile, so below average. Max exit velocity, 59th percentile, so you want to see that 90th percentile pull more from that max EV. He can reach that top end, but he's not reaching that top end consistently. So reaching that top end consistently where you're consistently getting closer to your max EV would be positive. But pulled fly ball percentage, 80th percentile. Love to see that. Seager, 79th percentile. Love to see that. So patient player, doesn't chase much, doesn't whiff much. He has a really solid base, and I would expect that if he was able to get stronger, he would be able to provide a little bit more pop. I think 30 is a little too much. We predicted Miguel Vargas to be home run leader in 2025, Joey. Maybe 1 year off.
Yeah, wishful thinking.
Probably
and it was looking good. It was looking good for a half second there, but again, some nagging little injuries, little bumps and bruises, little maladies. Came back, wasn't exactly the same kind of player. They did move him around the diamond a little bit, but I don't know if I'm going to go into next year saying Miguel Vargas is going to lead the Chicago White Sox in home runs, but I think I had him at 22 or 23. I probably wouldn't shy away from me projecting or guessing that type of number next year.
25 sounds nice.
Yeah.
You know, if he's getting stronger, that's what I think you have to at least progress it, because like what he did was good enough, but I think there was definitely room to grow. If he's not growing, then
that's that's going to be key. That's going to be on the player too. And then the other last part too, before we got a break, is that he won't necessarily have to be a guy that hits 3, 4, 5 in this lineup, right? Or even 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Maybe you can kind of put him in the 6, 7 hole. He can kind of hunt around a little bit and provide some power from a different part of the lineup. And then again, that's what gets exciting about it, is that the White Sox, that they can continue to lengthen the lineup, and you can get production from Miguel Vargas in that back half. And then you're starting to say, we got something going a little bit.
Yeah. Let's take a break here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. We'll talk more about Miguel Vargas after the break, and then we'll go to the Die Hard Discord mailbag after this message. We want to let you know about our friends over at Bet365. Check out Bet365, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary. Use code CHGO365 when you sign up. Bet $5. Make your first wager of $5 with Bet365. And whether that $5 wages wins or loses, you get $200 in bonus bets to bet on player props, futures, parlays, live in-game wagering, whatever your heart desires. It is Monday night. There is a 50% Super Boost profit token that you could take advantage of on same-game parlays if you are looking to increase your enhancement of watching Monday Night Football. If you're watching the hockey game tonight, there is a boosted CHGO parlay. Hawks to win, Nazar 3 shots on goal, and then Hawks to score first. It's around plus 750. We're 3-0 in our last 3 parlays. Don't ask me my record on the parlays before that, but 3-0 in the last 3. We'll take it. Have I bet one of them? No. So it's a great time to just continue to, I'm not going to mush it, all right? Now is the time. Head over to Bet365, use code CHGO365. Place a bet of $5. Whether that wins or loses, you get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Check out Bet365, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus. If you or someone you know has gambling problem, crisis counseling, and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER in-app only. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Shady Rays. The best sunglasses out there are at shadyrays.com, and we've teamed up with our friends over at Shady Rays. Head over to shadyrays.com. Use code CHGO for 35% off polarized sunglasses. These are the best sunglasses I've ever owned. I typically am one of the rotating spin, department store buyers. And now that we've been introduced to Shady Rays, I buy nothing but Shady Rays. I haven't been able to, or haven't been forced to buy that many pairs. I got 3 pairs. 1 broke. And within, I think, a week, Shady Rays sent me that replacement. They are not only incredibly built sunglasses, they're polarized sunglasses. And if you lose or break them, even on day 1, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. And even then, I really can't even break them. I sit on them all the time. They don't break. Check out our friends over at Shady Rays. They make the best sunglasses out there. ShadyRays.com. Use code CHGO for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. These shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Edward in the chat is asking, where did you get that shirt, Sean? I got it at a vintage store. It was somebody's, and they didn't want it, and now I got it. It says Chicago, and it has the Sox logo on the sleeve, and then it says White Sox, and it has the logo right here, and it's a Lee shirt. The brand on it's Lee. Is that
like
a Gene?
Lee Patrick Williams?
No. Lee! No, not Lee Patrick Williams. Before I get too far, also, I should have brought this up before, and this is a way more important thing than Miguel Vargas. I kind of got distracted. Let's talk about the All Sports Scene food drive, because not only has this thing taken off beyond our wildest belief. When we talked to you on Thursday, the goal was 2,500, and they surpassed that. The goal was then 3,500. Folks, you head over to myfooddrives.org/teams/782427. You'll see that the Southside Food Drive has raised $17,228. That is
wow.
51,684 meals. $1 provides 3 meals. We have completely just continued to donate and donate and donate and raise money. Don't stop now. I looked this up. There's team rankings on the myfooddrives.org. Greater Chicago Food Depository Drives has been doing this, I think, around COVID or so. This is about 5 years of data. This is nearly a top 25 all-time grossing food drive, and this is going to continue until the end of November. If you have the ability to donate, please do. You can support by making a donation in the link in the description, or go to myfooddrives.org/teams/782427. We also have the QR code on the screen. Your donation helps provide food and hopes for families facing hunger throughout Cook County. Again, $1 donated provides 3 meals, and your monetary gift helps the Food Depository keep food pantries and programs across their 800 community partners stocked with fresh, nutritious, and culturally affirming foods such as produce and perishable items. Help us reach our goal. Obviously, we've done that, but right now is a very important time for food in this country. SNAP benefits have now stopped, and some companies around Chicago are helping those people out with free meals. Not really going to. This goes to the Greater Chicago Food Depository that does fantastic work that will be feeding the community. If people are in need, they will be able to get that help that they do need. It's not something that I think people relish in. It's not something that people want to have to take advantage of. Michael Che of SNL said that it was one of the most shameful things that, if you saw a buddy from school, you would wait for that person to leave the store before you used food stamps to buy groceries. So if you are looking to help people in our community here in Chicago, head over to that food drive. Again, you can scan that QR code. The White Sox have donated. Jim and Andrea Tomey have donated. That's part of why this money, or the goal, has been reached. But don't stop now, boys.
Well, and also, can I just add something really quick?
Of course.
That this is a great opportunity to also remind everybody that White Sox fans do show up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think there's such a weird misnomer and an awful narrative about the attendance factor and stuff like that. But it's important to remember that, in my opinion, White Sox fans, we don't suffer fools, right? You know what I mean? You can't BS us. You can't lie to us. And when it matters and when it's real and when it's tangible and what the deal is, and whether it's that 2 a.m. phone call to help change a tire, a White Sox fan shows up. And this is another great example of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great to see the team itself show up. A little funny, and I don't mean this in a bad way because it's all about charity. A little funny that the team donates $1,000, and then the player that works for the team
hold on. Let's see. Let them sign Pete Alonso first.
No, I know. Great work, and obviously that helped put eyes on it that the White Sox donated. So no shame there. Just a little funny. I'm always trying to find the laughter in this. Edward asking, did I get it at the Will? No, it was at a Chicago vintage store where like you have 8 vendors with under like one building or whatever. So I bought it from a vendor within a vendor. So it's just some guy that was selling this. It was like $25. Let's go. Anyways, myfooddrives.org/teams/782427. Head over, donate if you can. Obviously an important time to help those in the community. All right, let's get back to Miguel Vargas. I know some people might look at his StatCast page and groan at the fact that I'm even bringing up that he could be a third baseman. I do think it's fairly questionable that he didn't get enough consistent reps there, so I wouldn't hate it if he is their third baseman. I do see the numbers. They're not pretty. Outs above average rates Miguel Vargas in 2025 as a -7 outs above average. Yeesh. At first base, he's a 1 out above average, so you'll take that. When you look at, and now I can't find his stupid fielding on great. Looking for his fielding on Baseball Reference. There it is. Okay, I was in game log. Cool, we're here. Fielding run value for third base with the Sox, -5, not good. DRS at that position in 2025, -3, just grades out terribly as a third baseman. First baseman, 4 DRS, 1 outs above average, 1 fielding run value. He seems to have like first base down. So that's why I kind of want to see if third base is like it. Like give him one more run at third base if they're not signing a free agent like, Josh Bell, or if they are signing a free agent like Josh Bell to play first base. I would be fine with Miguel Vargas being the third baseman. Because while those numbers aren't pretty, maybe with more consistency, he could settle in there. But the idea also is that he's going to gain another 25 pounds, or maybe just 15 if another 25 is absurd. Maybe he will be less, of fleet foot. So maybe third base won't be the position, and maybe first base is where he ends up slotting in. I think they have a corner spot, and it's mainly just going to be how his bat talks. If he has a great 2026 with his bat, he will be a part of the core, whether it's at first base or third base. I think that he's a decent enough athlete to make one of these position works. That's why I gave him a C. The actual defensive ratings, not great at third base. Showed enough promise at first base where I think he can handle a corner. The arm isn't terrible. When you look, he does have like mid-arm strength. 83.3 was his average throw. I think Colson at shortstop's like 81.2, so he's able to get like 2+ more miles per hour on that corner spot. So I think he has like a decent enough arm to make third base work. It's just more about being as fleet of foot. You hear how difficult first base is. I was able to pick it up. I know that's just T-ball and pony ball, etc. And I was a lefty, so maybe that makes it a little bit easier. But like third base, again, I was a lefty, a lot more difficult. They call it the hot corner. First base, they usually put the fatties, So like if Miguel Vargas, I shared the photo of large Bugs Bunny with the White Sox hat on. If he wants to just get a little bit bigger, be a Prince fielder, a Dimitri Young, just a big guy at first base, I'll take it. Like later stages, Miguel Cabrera. Let's just start calling him Miggy. If he starts looking like Miguel Cabrera at first base, no one's going to have any issues. Like if he starts hitting like Miguel Cabrera, gets the Triple Crown, etc., no one's going to have an issue.
T-ball days, what was better for you? Scooping a ball at first or taking a hot smash grounder off the chest?
Oh, no one was ever hitting it hard enough.
Oh, really?
No. That was the good thing. It was like, the good players were right-handed. There was typically never a lefty that was strong enough to actually hit it hard enough. Yeah. So third base sucked. I once saw a guy like ball hit the dirt, bounced up right in his nose. It's just like the most blood I've ever seen. And I'm like, I don't think I ever want to play third base again.
Scooping a ball at first is the best. But growing up, we had a 6-year-old kid named Larry Bonds. I think he was on something.
Yeah?
He was hitting the ball hard.
There was this one kid, Nick George. It was the only ever actual homer I gave up. The only time a ball ever went over the fence in a game that I think I was in. Maybe the one would happen later, but it was 7th grade or so, and he was maybe 6'2", everyone else maybe 5'5". So it's okay, here comes Nick. I think he was a full year older than me too, and I just threw the fattest meatball that you've ever seen.
You put taters on the menu.
like it was 200, I think, to the fence, like dead center.
Yeah.
So it was like a little bit more like left center. And then there was a street on it. I'm pretty sure it hit a car.
That's an
Like, it was
instructive.
a bomb.
That's an instructive life lesson, though. Is that stuff is real. That when you throw a pitch and someone just gets it all and you know it right away, like that's a real thing.
Love to feel it sometime.
You don't have to be a pro to know that you just gave up a bomb.
Yeah, the reason I'm sitting here today is because my hitting prowess was maybe like the Nick Madrigal spray chart, where maybe we hit the outfield dirt on a line drive, maybe. So yeah, this is why your boy's talking about ball and not playing it. Let's take a break here on the CHGO White Sox podcast. We'll answer your diehard Discord questions after the break. I think we wrapped up most of Miguel Vargas. You got any more Vargas thoughts?
No, but I'll think of some.
No. All right, let's take a break. Wait, it says Shady Rays here. What are we doing? Hold on. Do we move it? Is it Eye on the Ball here? Yeah, Eye on the Ball. We want to let you know about our friends over at Eye on the Ball. Dave and Chris are CHGO diehards. Got the chance to meet them one-on-one, and they are really passionate about this project, and I really found it nice that I believe it was Chris, was looking for a golf coach for his daughter, and that's why he ended up making this company. He was looking for a coach. He was calling around to every course being like, hey, do you have a pro that is able to teach? Wasn't able to find it, so why not be the solution for yourself? Him and Dave teamed up to make eyeontheball.net, and they are looking to make it easier for you, whether you're a parent, an athlete, or a coach, to get linked up and make sure that you have the best of the best coaching for your future. If you are an athlete, if you're serious about leveling up your game, check out eyeontheball.net. Create your profile, search through coaches in your sport, and connect directly with the one that's right for you. From soccer to swimming, baseball to basketball, you name it, the coaches are there. So what are you waiting for? Your future coach could be just one click away. Jump on it today at eyeontheball.net. That's eyeontheball.net. Find your coach and take your game to the next level. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Game Time. What time is it, Joey? Oh, you're
Game Time.
You're a pro. You have your mic on and everything. The Game Time app gives the advantage back to fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. And the best part is, the closer you get to game time, curtain time, etc., the prices do go down, and you have a really good Blackhawks team right now in Chicago that's drawing about 15,000. When the Blackhawks are good, and the Blackhawks are great, the UC is sold out. If you want to see Connor Bedard before he gets too big, if you want to see Frankie Nazar before he gets too big, if you want to see Artem Leshinov before he gets too big, Spencer Knight before he gets too big.
Nazar might not get that much bigger. Or taller, I should say. But stature of stardom?
Stature of stardom. Mm-hmm. Yeah, influence. You might want to check out Game Time and get the tickets on the lowest price guarantee. And if you are able to find a price in the same section and row for less on a different site, Game Time will give you the difference, 110% of the difference. So take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. Back here on the CHGO White Sox podcast, and it's time to open up the Die Hard Discord. Lil Yumper, I reached out at 10:22. And at 10:22, Lil Yumper responded. Do the White Sox make a splash signing this offseason, or are we still a few years away? We've talked about this a bit through the offseason, and I do think that in 2026, they still are a few years away. I think that 2027 possibly could be the year they add. The issue is that there's a pending labor strike that wants to happen, where, you know, most people don't want a salary cap, but some of the cheap owners would like a salary cap to make the game more fair. Pay less money to players. I understand some of it, like, you know, Shohei Ohtani makes more than certain teams play, but when you look at what Shohei Ohtani was able to draw in Game 7 of the World Series, it was more what the NBA was able to draw in Game 7 of the Thunder and Pacers. Game 7 of the NBA Finals was like $16 million. I understand that, not Nemhard, Halliburton went out, so maybe that saw a dip in people watching that Thunder Pacer game, but Game 7 of Dodgers and Blue Jays pulled in $24 million. Like, it's, you can make money in baseball. if you're not spending and you're drawing the ire of your fan base, like maybe a certain team or maybe the Pirates on the East Coast, it's probably not going to be fun for you. But I think that the White Sox are going to be a couple years away because I don't think it's going to be this year. And 2027 seems iffy. So maybe 2028. I hate to be like the bearer of bad news. I'd love for them to sign Munetaka Murakami. Let's go. That'd be great. And, we'll see if Miguel Vargas can play third base. I've brought up Josh Bell, which is like $8 million, but that's just a one-year deal. I really don't see them inking anybody to a multi-year deal, especially with the pending labor strike coming up. Maybe they do a Martin Perez situation where the second year is mainly just, $3.5 million to pay in 2027 rather than paying that in 2026. But I don't think that you're going to see them signing the closer of the future first baseman, future second baseman. You're likely going to see some moves similar to 2024. Maybe they're a little bit more aggressive. Maybe they are, instead of getting a Martin Perez, it's a Jose Quintana, right? Maybe instead of a Brandon Drury, it's a Josh Bell. But I don't think it's going to be going from a Toyota to a Chrysler or you know what I'm saying?
Well, it certainly would help
you're
if
not
they
going to luxury here.
Certainly would help if that's the timeline, and I think that's very reasonable timeline of what you're putting out there. I'm not saying that I'm rooting for that, but when we actually look at the reality of where this team is going and what it's going to need to do, 2027, 2028 makes sense. So then my question is, it would be pretty nice to win that lottery then.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it'd be great to win that lottery. It'd be fairly disappointing if they don't win the lottery. And if they're not top three, it might be revolting.
Because at the very least, like, let's just say they stick with prep players, something that you've been thumbsing up, the last couple of rounds that they've done. Then you're hoping and thinking 27, 28, I don't know if that player is up, if everything works out right, but they're pretty darn close. And then when you're signing players, then you have some more players on the verge of graduating, and then it all starts to kind of roll over on itself. And that's where you create depth. And then that's when things can get really interesting.
And they don't have much to trade right now. It's really Robert, and that's dependent on health. It's dependent on him playing well. So we'll see with Robert. Benintendi doesn't have any value, and outside of that, they're not paying anybody. Maybe Davis Martin brings in something and adds to that depth, but you're not getting an impact player for a Davis Martin. Maybe it's somebody that is like an Ernie Clement who can be a nice grinder for you, but no impact player.
Or like lightning in a bottle, like Noah Schultz is the unicorn.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And they think forward on it, and they say, we can bring back a haul of players by trading a guy that has a ton of team control.
You're talking about trading Noah Schultz
in 27?
Stop.
No,
please, come on.
Really?
Man, give me a year of Noah Schultz.
Oh, I said in 2027.
We're calling his ass up just to trade him? Like,
you
no,
were saying,
hell no.
You're saying,
come on, man.
We were doing inventory.
Give me a year of him being on the team before we even have this damn discussion.
No, I hear you, but
he's not even on the team, and you're talking about trading him.
You were doing inventory of what could even possibly be traded in the organization right now, and the only one that I would offer would be someone that actually had a high end arm that would actually roll everything back over.
We need a high end arm.
Well, we need 2
or 3. I want to be a Pirate. It's Noah Schultz. Anyways,
I want a hamburger. I want a hot dog. I want a milkshake.
This leads into B-Dam's 92's question. Which prospect do you think we'll see get called up next season? I brought up the idea of Braden Montgomery. It seems early, but then again, you see what he's doing in the AFL, and dude's just hitting the hell out of the ball. So I still want to say it's feasible that Braden Montgomery could work his way onto the opening day roster. So I will think that at some point he is at least a White Sox, if not opening day. I think they at least get him up in September, because you can still have him up in September and then have him eligible for PPI picks in 2027. But you look at what he did on November 1st at the AFL. This is from @NotCease. A 102.2 mile per hour homer, a 92.2 mile per hour single, a 111.1 mile per hour ground out, and a 108.6 triple. So that is a nice 3+ 100 mile per hour exit velocity for Braden Montgomery. I do think that he can do damage. It might be a little bit too soon when I say opening day, but I do think Braden can be a player that makes his major league debut in 2026. You bring up trading Noah Schultz. I hate you for it. Let's make sure he gets on the damn team first.
Yes.
He's got to recover from the injury that he had. I think at some point you'll see Noah. They were fairly aggressive with Caro. They were aggressive with Teo. They were not aggressive with Colson, but if you look at his stats in AAA, they were somewhat aggressive with Colson. I think that you'll see Noah after a month. If he does what he needs to do in the first month at Charlotte out of spring training, I think that you could see him. Again, I am also for PPI picks. If he shows you enough, or if Hagen shows you enough to where these guys could possibly get you a back-end first-round pick, pre-second-round pick, let's go. Because they're top, 50-ish players in Major League Baseball. They have that top-end potential. I think Noah's possible. Hagen, I think, is possible. I brought the idea up of Hagen being in the opening day roster to Elijah Evans when I was on the Future Sox podcast. He laughed at me. I don't think he didn't like it. And I thought his defense was fair. You don't see a lot of 6+ outings from him, outings from him. He's been around 3 innings or 4 innings. I don't know if he truly has that base to start pitching in the major leagues. And then also, there's a decent amount of walks. So if he walks 3 guys in an inning and then gives up a hit, like how does he have that long of a leash if he uses 40 pitches in those 4 at-bats, right? So the lack of a third pitch is what Elijah said. I don't know if Hagen will be an opening day starter. However, again, if he's looking decent come July, I think Hagen could be called up at some point. The guy that Elijah thinks can make the opening day rotation over Hagen or even Noah is Tanner McDougal. Tanner should be a part of the 2026 White Sox at some point. McDougal needs to be added to the 40-man roster this offseason. They have an open spot. I'd be very surprised if they don't protect him from the Rule 5 draft because I do think that Tanner McDougal easily would be taken. So I do think McDougal can work his way into the White Sox 2026 roster, whether it be in the bullpen where his stuff would play up even massively or as a starter. I think it's very helpful, or not helpful, but I think it's very prescient that he is a starter. I would not like to see him be a bullpen piece at all. He's 6'5". He's been throwing 6-inning outings in AA. Let's see if he can do it at the major league level. So McDougal is definitely one that I'd throw out there. I'd throw Antonacci, the 11th prospect down there. His AFL has been fantastic. Was a college player. He's already around 23 years old now. He's at the point where I think they could call him up, but it's really for who? It wouldn't be for Chase unless Chase is being just plays terribly to start 2025. It's not going to be Lenine. We've already talked about Vargas having a spot. It's not going to be Colson. I don't see where Antonacci works his way in. It's not going to be for Brooks. I think they want Brooks as a possible outfielder. Antonacci does seem like more of an infielder. I think Antonacci will debut. I just don't know when. That's either he's going to press the hell out of him and have like a 400 average in Charlotte, and they'll be like, well, we got to call him up, or injury, and he's then called up based on that.
Yeah, the other guy I think about too is, look, he already got a cup of coffee in the major leagues, but still is a young-ish player. What is your confidence level, or do you have any excitement at all about Drew Thorpe helping at any point in 2026? I don't think he'll be ready.
I'm sorry. I'm just going through the top prospects. Yeah,
no, I know. I'm kind of going off the board and being like, is that another guy that maybe in theory could help the Chicago White Sox, whether that is the bullpen or the rotation, or did you like what you saw from him? Right?
Went under
Bone Spurs. I think,
underwent
right?
Tommy John March 22nd, 2025. So
okay.
Maybe he's throwing in spring training, but I don't think he's ready for opening day. If there's an injury and he's already started his rehab, maybe that's how he works his way into the rotation. I'd be fine if he just pitches in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Like show me that you're not only healthy, but you can
stay healthy. Not only that you're healthy, but stay healthy.
Maybe if you could throw 92 or 93 consistently. Like, I'm not a fan of him.
Living on the change.
Yeah, the change is cool, but it's really just the change. Like, oh, what's Drew Thorpe going to throw?
He's change.
Change is coming. I'm not over the moon over Thorpe. However, another guy that had Tommy John. I think I said John.
Tom John
Boy. Tommy John was Mason Adams. I think he was more April, so he'd have a little bit later of a time schedule or timetable than Thorpe would. We'd probably see Thorpe sooner. But I do think Mason Adams not only will debut, but will be a very good piece for the White Sox. I really like what I saw from him. It's not only 2 pitches, it's not 3 pitches, it's 4 pitches. Like, he commands them all. It might not be great strikeout stuff, but he's not going to walk anybody. So the one thing, at least with Adams, you are concerned about is typically when you are recovering from Tommy John, control isn't the first thing that comes back. Usually you have velocity, you don't have control. So the big thing about Adams' game is control, so it might be a little bit for him to get worked into that. Peyton Paulette should be added to the 40-man at some point, but I don't think that he will. Or I think he will be, but I don't know if he'll be opening day. I think Paulette will probably pop up at some point. You'd assume that Jacob Gonzalez at some injury point, maybe in June or July, will just be the guy. They have to see what they got in the first round at some point. He might not even play well and get a promotion, but I think Gonzalez will be there. Iriarte has made his major league debut, but I think you'll probably see him back again unless he's just terrible. He might just be terrible. I don't really know. And then the other person I throw out there is Schweitzer. Schweitzer sneaks in on the Major League Baseball top 30 at 29, being a lefty. Tyler Alexander's no longer a White Sox. I don't know if he's opening day, but Schweitzer could be a guy that just eats a ton of innings out of the White Sox pen. Final question was from our friend Ashley Page. What shake is going to be endlessly plugged in commercials this year? Joey, you got a shake idea for the White Sox?
Dang, that's a great question.
I thought summer berry.
Okay.
It's a classic,
something refreshing.
Here's the one that they should do.
I went in a different direction.
My favorite treat at White Sox Park is the churro.
Yes.
Just give me a churro milkshake.
Wow.
And then you could stick the churros into the milkshake.
Yes.
You could have a churro, and then it's like, oh, look at this milkshake. The churro sticking out. You could probably make a churro straw.
And with churro,
you could probably make a churro straw, Joey.
Whipped cream goes fun with churro. Nutella goes fun with churro. You could do a lot of different ways to kind of like zhuzh it up. I went in a far more disgusting way. I was like, let's do like an au jus Italian beef shake or something like that.
Well, we're not going to go savory. What is this, like Iron Chef?
No, it's Guy Fieri. Prepare yourself, everybody. I'm putting an Italian beef in it. Little sweet, little heat.
A la cuisine.
Little jardiniere on top of that ice cream.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But the churro one, they have a strawberry filling. You could do strawberry on top.
No, legit.
The caramel one, the dulce de leche, boom. The chocolate one, I don't know.
Legit. Churro. That's a great idea.
We could do that. I mean, the beef one maybe for like a weekend. Maybe July is like a little, gag.
Yeah, or like, you could do something that
promote the stupid 5th season of The Bear. I love that. I saw somebody like visit Chicago and they're like, I went to Mr. Beef to try Chicago beef. It's like, I'm going to hit my head with my laptop.
You do understand, kind sir or lady, whoever said that to you, that there are a plethora of options that are just as good. There really isn't just one.
Oh my God! I mean, there's
an original like 5 of everything.
Off my head.
Did you watch The Bear? Do you like The Bear?
No. Being an Irish American, some of those themes are a little bit too.
Oh, I get you.
Prevalent in my life and in growing up, and it's not my favorite to relive them. Yeah.
Well, I've been in restaurant situations that have been very reminiscent of some of the things and themes in that show too, as well. So
it's like, do you want to have a panic attack? It's like, I'll skip on having a panic attack.
Well, for me, to be very fair, I was never a chef or a cook. I was always a server, so I was witnessing the panic attack. But you have to take the brunt of
someone being pissed,
salty language, maniacal behavior that really has nothing to do with you. You just kind of walk into it. But yeah.
It's good times by all. And Chris N6458 saying, great content. Thank you. Hopefully December 9th, White Sox will get the first pick of the draft. Joey, content idea.
Here, Chris.
Live watch along December 9th.
For the first pick of the draft?
For the first pick of the draft.
Oh my God.
Draft lottery live watch along?
We'd have so much fun.
I think we should do it.
Legit, like it would
Tell
be.
Jake.
It'd be like what 40. I mean, we would do a lead up to it.
Yeah.
We would do a lead up. We would do the first round pick, and then we would do a reaction for maybe about 20, 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be a 4-hour long thing.
No, just do it.
You get in, you get out.
I don't know.
Do the important stuff.
I don't know.
Maybe get Elijah involved. Get BZ involved.
Oh.
You know, you never know. Beef loaf.
Well, now you're throwing a lot of people out there. If they're not,
Is that too many?
if they're not a part of it, they might be upset. So
Oh, I understand.
don't promise too many people. We can't.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
let's see if they even let us do the show.
We'll kindly slip an invitation under your door. That's all you know.
We will wrap up this show, the CHGO White Sox podcast. I've already gone for too long. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.